This is just a quick breakdown to simplify something that might look quite complex on paper, but it's actually pretty simple to build and shoot. The final video will have two completely separate segments. The first part is the voiceover saying the poem from beginning to end, and the second part is reversing the poem and reading it backwards. With my performance, the final video comes up to about 2.5 minutes, so the end result shouldn't be longer than 3 minutes in total. The first part is actually a long take one shot, and the second part is going to be this fast-paced, high-energy montage of children doing absolutely amazing things. But for the first part, when you read the poem from beginning to end, it has a quite daunting, apocalyptic feel to it. So I figured that we could build a circular structure in a studio space that is broken up into 4 different parts, 4 segments, which will represent 4 different sections of what's going wrong currently with the world. The actual set piece should have the look and feel of a cardboard structure that was handmade by kids. And we're actually planning to have kids involved in designing and making the props and little set pieces, while the actual large circular structure is going to be built by professionals so that it's all safe for shooting and dancing. The first part of the video is going to feature one main dancer dancing backwards in this circular structure, moving backwards, while the Steadicam is following her moving forwards. And in the edit, we're going to reverse the entire thing. So seemingly, the camera is moving backwards, seemingly, quite unnaturally, the dancer is moving forwards, and all the set pieces that were built in and during the shoot will be removed gradually. In the edit, they will look like they are appearing just at the right time, just in the perfect place. I've put together this video in shooting order, so the actual edit is going to be backwards. So we're moving from beach to apocalyptic scene in the shooting process. In the final edit, we're going to move from the most apocalyptic set piece towards the beach. And at the middle of the video, we're going to transition from the beach in the studio to an actual beach outside. And after that point, it's just going to be a live action montage with natural lighting of actual kids doing amazing things and attending creative workshops. As Generations Inspired, we have done 2 pop-up live events, one in 2019 and one in 2020. So we've got some wide shots of kids attending those workshops. And in the mock-up video, I was focusing more on close-ups and the actual editing style. So for the second half of the video, it's going to be pretty easy for us to bring together children and film exactly the shots that we want to get. So for the actual set piece, I'm imagining a cardboard circular structure, probably strengthened with plywood. If the structure itself doesn't look a perfect circle, that's absolutely fine, because the intention is for it to look homemade and made by children to contrast the quite daunting premise of the poem itself. Section 1 is a beach setting with bright colors, paper palm trees, and a big bright setting sun that will double up as the apocalyptic sunset at the very end when we circle back around and we're looking the exact same way and we're going to catch the same part of the set as before. This segment is all about the Instagram style social media culture. So the dancer is going to be posing, taking pictures of herself with a cell phone, and on the walls there are going to be small mirrors that look like those Instagram style Polaroid frames. So she's looking at herself in the mirror. It's all about self-obsession and a culture that values style more than substance. Section 2 is about consumption, not just the consumption of money and goods or single-use plastic, but also the consumption of our natural resources, how we're destroying forests, how we're building oil rigs and factories, how we're using futuristic tech to override our natural instincts. It's all about disconnection from nature and a degradation of nature, all in order to build a monetary system that doesn't actually support any of us. Section 3 is about externalizing our fears, insecurities, and dramatizing our mental health as a battlefield. This is about everything that stops us from being truly creative, expressing who we really are, and having the self-confidence and self-esteem, and go out and make healthy, loving, and soulful connections. The lighting and mood is drastically changing in this segment with harsh colors, smoke, and the dancer will be dressing up wearing an armor and pilot goggles that will stay on for the next section as well. And we've arrived to a complete apocalyptic, desolate desert. Now her goggles, I'm imagining that the dancer is a girl, it can be a boy as well. Now her goggles are also coupled with a big scarf wrapped around her face. It's supposed to look like that there is a sandstorm. The sun is scorching hot in the background and all signs of natural life have completely disappeared. And in the final edit, this is going to be the piece that the whole video is going to start with. As I mentioned before, we already have some footage for the second half of the video, so now we're looking for some additional funding for this first half to be able to professionally build a set with absolute professional lighting, professional camera crew, to have a final video that actually has the chance to be able to speak to as many people as possible. It's one thing to put together a montage of home videos, but quality is still something that people appreciate. If we showcase how much thought, preparation, and craftsmanship we can put into one video, then we can convey the right message about Generations Inspired as an educational organization. We do take creativity very seriously. We like to push boundaries and we like to produce extraordinary results. Our passion is to inspire all generations to go for it and create something never before seen.